Sparktoro is a giant database of behaviors and demographics of people on the internet.
So let's talk solution here, because a lot of what you've done with Sparktoro is really the simplicity of find out where they're going already and go stand in front of them. And it's really like the ultimate research tool to figure out, like if you sell protein powder and you one day realize everybody who buys protein powder is about to go to the gym, well, putting a billboard right in front of the gym is probably going to be really effective. And you're essentially making it very easy for people to do that digitally. I wonder if we could just like run an analysis on whatever you think would be kind of most useful for folks to see. Let me just make sure I got screen share enabled so you can show us. Because I think that's really remarkable, because like I see, like the downside of the attribution is people spend all this time online trying to track and measure instead of just putting more valuable stuff out there that has the ability to work. And the more you know about your customer, the conversation I always had in these lawyer masterminds was, who gives a shit? It's working. Just do more of it, right? It's working. You may not be able to track how much is from radio and how much is from billboards, but at the end of the day, the total machine is working. So just keep doing it.
This is actually exactly how I recommend folks operate. So, weirdly enough, all right, you can see my screen, my Sparktoro interface here.
Yep.
Great.
We're in.
So okay, first off, very briefly, what Sparktoro is a giant database of behaviors and demographics of people on the internet. So I search for, I'm going to say people who use this word in their bio, let's say interior designer. So people who call themselves interior designer on, mostly we use LinkedIn for bio profile data. So people who—
I wonder if you could do maybe like we got a couple of guys in like dentists, HVAC, plumbing, like those kind of
industries. Yeah, let's look at HVAC. So you could see, right, for example, that interior designers are like 75–80% women, and they visit these particular websites, and they tend to search for these types of keywords in Google, and they visit these or listen to these podcasts, and they subscribe to these YouTube channels. HVAC folks, so we've got 182,000 accounts now. HVAC in the bio could be quite a variety of things, right? It could be I'm an HVAC consultant, I work at an HVAC company, an HVAC manufacturer.
Yeah,
you can see the gender demographics there are very very male-centric industry, which probably surprises no one.
Yeah.
And so what Sparktoro is doing is actually kind of similar to what we talked about Google and Facebook and Apple and Amazon doing, which is to have data about where people who have a particular behavior or demographic go on the internet. And so what we're showing here is what they search for, what they visit. We have this concept of hidden gems, which are sort of these websites that may be less popular, but have a surprisingly high affinity for their lower global popularity.
Yeah.
We can tell you which social networks they are more and less likely to visit, right? So YouTube is number one, which is no surprise. HVAC would be number one. It's also globally number one. So maybe not that interesting. Like, we know that YouTube is sort of the most popular social network people visit, but Reddit and LinkedIn are considerably more popular than normal. And so is Quora. And if you've searched around in HVAC world, you know that Quora often ranks highly in Google, and there's lots of content about, heating and ventilation and air conditioning on Quora. So probably not a surprise.
Can I just make a quick analogy? So, because I hope folks really understand the power of what we're looking at right now. Is, I mentioned this before to a lot of people, but my first ever job, I was 13 years old. I sold chocolate bars door to door to the blind, or for the blind, and we would knock on a lot of doors, but like it was a long, difficult grind. And what you're describing is once a month, our local grocery store or our local manager would go to the local grocery store and say, "Hey, is it okay if we sell chocolate bars outside the front doors?" And the manager was always cool with it. And we would normally take 5, 6, 7 hours to sell out all our chocolate. But when we all stood in front of the grocery store, it took 10, 15 minutes for those conversions to happen, because people like literally got in the car, money in hand, intending to spend it, and we just interrupted them on the way. And it was like every 5 seconds, a new buyer walked by. And so when you have this level of data, like you're essentially going, this is all the digital grocery stores that they're going to. Like, go stand here and you're going to sell a lot of chocolates. Like, for those of you guys who want to scale and grow your agency, is like, Rand has essentially given you guys a couple of buttons to click to tell you where everybody in your market goes to research and buy stuff. Hey guys, if you like this video, you may also like my best-selling book here, Beyond the Agency Box. It is all about scaling a digital marketing agency while eliminating meetings and phone calls. We actually sell our stuff phoneless. We don't have any client meetings, and we also hire our team entirely without meeting phone calls, which allows us to, you know, like actually kind of live a life. I've laid out the entire blueprint and everything you need to know, getting clients, onboarding, setting expectations, scaling, building a team, you name it. It has been a bestseller on Amazon now for over 5 straight years, but now you can get it even cheaper than you can get it on Amazon. So I can't tell you the exact price because it may change when this video is released, but there should be a link to it below, either in the description of the video or as well as a pinned comment. So if you're interested in that, check out that video and you can get a copy for super cheap.